Hello and welcome to another episode of the WAVE. We're on our Rainbow Edition series where
Uh-oh.
I am
What
going to
happened?
be talking about talking to members of the LGBTQ community as they have been impacted by the COVID-19 crisis. I'm your host, Don Tecson, coming to you live from my home. I am alone. I am practicing my social distancing and my self quarantine and self isolation and all that. And I am fortunate to have with me as my guest the fabulous and beautiful Ms. Robbie Van. I got that right that time. And she is all the way out in Qualicum. Hello, Robbie. Thank you for being on the
Hi,
show.
Don. Nice to see you again, you
Fabulous.
vibrant person. It's so marvelous to be in your presence again, even though we're so far apart.
I know. The last time we saw each other was on my birthday celebration in March 8th.
Oh,
You
that was so much fun.
I know. I'll be posting the video of your performance and your speech and all and the roast and toast thing. I have a friend who's editing it all together, and soon you'll. Oh, what you did! My mom was like bawling off her seat, laughing at your songs. And she was so entertained, and she was so blown away.
I love your mum, by the way. She's a beautiful woman. What a wonderful person she is. She just glows.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to adopt her as my mum too.
Well, you never know. I'm kidding me. She's alone right now with herself. She's alone in she's in self-isolation back in Coquitlam. She has a condo there and she lives alone. And I'm secure and I'm comforted by the fact that my other brother who lives in Coquitlam is just 5 minutes away.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Yes.
So she's okay. She's doing okay. And she might be back here in Port Alberni by sometime after May 11th.
Oh, good.
And
Well,
I'm hoping, yeah.
we need our contacts with our families. We can't let that go. I mean, any way we can contact them and stay in touch is very important. And
Oh
for
yeah,
some,
on her 80th birthday, my siblings and I got together on Facebook and we sang her happy birthday at the stroke of midnight.
oh, good. Oh, she's 80?
She's 80.
Oh my God, what a vibrant woman.
I know, right? She can still kick my ass.
Amazing. That gives good hope for you too.
Oh, of course. Well, can you imagine? I'm 57. I'm holding up.
Well,
The fight against gravity is not yet all lost.
no, it wins in the long run. It'll suck you right underground.
I know. Anyway, Robbie, darling, according to my calendar, I am on day 33 of my self-isolation. How about you? What's your day count?
Exactly the same.
Oh,
We're
really?
same type of isolation. The only difference is my band comes in to rehearse with us a couple of days, 3 days a week, sometimes 2 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we're all self-isolated, so it's just the one group, and there's only the four of us, so it works quite well.
Oh,
But
that's interesting. So tell me about your band. What does your band do? What kind of music do you play?
oh, I play the most amazing tongue-in-cheeks type of
Mm-hmm.
music, and I
Oh,
do
that
mean
I know.
I do mean cheeks, because I'm extremely cheeky. So it's all double entendre type of music, and it's fun stuff. If you're doing a stagette or a bachelor party or something like that, this is a fun place to come and enjoy some music that gets the whole audience involved. So on my last and my only performance before this all hit, we were just coming out of the starting gate. We had over 50 people there. It was almost 60 people. And I could tell that about 90% of them wanted to come back to the next one too. So it's wonderful when I see that type of reaction from the audience. I do it to entertain people and make them
Mm-hmm.
feel comfortable about their sexuality. I mean, we've all got a bit of a twist in our heads. There's
Oh,
nobody.
yeah.
There's
That's what
no.
makes life beautiful,
Yeah,
right?
nobody does.
We all need a twist.
God help you if you're normal. I just wouldn't want to be there.
That's, I think another way of saying it, that's boring.
Oh yeah.
And between the two of us, we're anything but.
Oh, that's a fact. I wrote a little piece called "Why Are You Trying So Hard to Fit In, Little Star, When You Were Born to Stand Out?"
Oh,
And
I have that on my wall.
oh yeah, isn't that lovely? Yeah, I
Don't
love
try
that.
so hard to fit in when you were born to stand out.
That's right. Yeah, and we all are. You know, if we find out
Exactly.
if we find out in a diva and let her free, look what happens. It's amazing. So
Oh, exactly.
I love life, and
So,
that's
pre-crisis, what were you up to? You were doing gigs and you're doing your music.
That's right. Yeah, we were working towards getting ourselves established and getting up to the point of going to about 12 different gigs a month, which is where we needed to be to keep moving forward.
Okay.
Because I
And
have
then the
long,
crisis hit. So what did you do to adjust?
well, we're now performing, practicing the entire concert so that we can do it without having to have lyrics in front of our faces all the time and be able to bring the entire concert together as a costume performance piece. It's called Elvira and Her Wicked, Wicked Ways. And
Oh,
it's
wow.
wonderful
Sounds fabulous.
because it's upside down in Wonderland. We're performing this online, so people can come and watch us. So this will be happening at, near the end of next month. So if you join Robbie Van and her wonderful group, then you can come and stream this amazing concert, see it for yourselves. About
Okay,
two.
how do we join? Tell our audience how we join.
Well, I'll let Bronwyn explain that
Okay,
one.
your technician. Okay.
Yeah, and this is where I come in. Robbie's.
No, I'm kidding. 6 feet. Oh my God.
No, this is just to maybe put some people's minds at ease. This is my work, and so I live with Robbie. So this is why, you know, our social distancing is a little closer than required. And our two other members of the group, they're very, very careful. Like this is our work, and so we're all very careful. We're very, very aware of everywhere that we don't go, essentially.
Okay.
So, so the concert is going to be May 22nd. We'll be streaming it live on Facebook. So
okay. Facebook and YouTube, or just Facebook?
Just Facebook for starters. This is all new learning territory for us too. And we've got more of an engaged audience on Facebook. And all people have to do to, first of all, keep up to date, and then also, of course, to watch the concert once it goes live, is to follow Robbie Van Music on Facebook.
Robbie Van Music.
Yep. And
so that's a page on Facebook, Robbie Van Music. So
yep,
how do you spell Robbie though? R-O-B-B-I-E?
Did I spell it?
That's it.
You got it, darling. And
I should be in a gay spelling bee or something. There's such a thing.
Well, you are such a queen bee.
Exactly. Yeah, with all my drones and soldiers.
Yay!
Oh my goodness. All right. So, all right. I think that's my technical expertise.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Welcome.
So, I'm curious now, Robbie, darling, as an individual, how are you coping? Like, what adjustments do you have to make? Do you do any meditation or writing, or what do you do on a day-to-day basis to cope with all this change, this sudden change, actually?
Well, I've always had quite a lot of anxiety. It's always been part of my makeup. So I benefit with the use of marijuana to keep me in a more comfortable zone. And,
okay.
And I find it very medicinally helpful. Although I don't recommend it to other people, it's their choice completely. Myself, I do marijuana and magic mushrooms too. And,
okay.
And they're very medicinal in quality. They make the brain grow. So
really?
For me, I found it to be a very wonderful way to light up my brain and make me make me more
creative.
Yes, this is where a lot of my stuff came from. So I love the first time I tried mushrooms. I hadn't done them for a long, long time. And let's face it, We were all teenagers, weren't we? Many
I
years.
didn't even know there was magic in mushrooms up until now. All I knew about mushrooms is they're fungi or something.
Yeah. Well, all of life comes from this source, right? Everything comes from the mushroom algae group of plants, because they're the pivotal piece that break down rock and make it edible for plants to consume. So they're the absolute fulcrum for all of life on Earth.
Wow,
So
that's very interesting.
so if you want life in your brain, go back to the source, folks. I mean, I think it would be marvelous even for stuff like brain injury. Now, I'm not a doctor, and I've never
Uh-huh.
professed to be one, but do I do think that there is wonder in these plant drugs that are available. I don't do any other drugs besides that, by the way.
So the magic mushroom and
Very seldom,
pot,
but yeah, mostly
marijuana.
pot. Yeah,
So
pot is
what's a typical day in your place?
okay. I get up
Who
around
does the laundry? Who does the cooking?
well, we do
Or you just
we
order?
do our own laundry. I do the cooking. Bronwyn cleans up the dishes, and uh, I like to mess around cleaning floors once in a blue moon. But I'm a messy person. I truly am. My my mind and my closet and my room is messy, messy, messy. It's the way I like it. I like chaos, and the order comes from that. So for me,
Okay,
that's
that's
where
interesting.
that's the way my brain works. It's weird. It's really weird.
So with the kind of work that you do, you don't necessarily have to go out and interact with people on a day-to-day basis.
It helps because then I get to talk to people about my poetry that I've just written to find out whether it's palatable. If there's any questions as to whether I should publish this type of stuff too, my mind doesn't necessarily always stay right on the edge. It sometimes falls over the other side. So I have to watch what I do, but I try to stay in the love zone and know that love is the only thing that's going to change this world. And the
Hmm.
most important thing of all is to love yourself. And that,
Oh,
and that,
definitely.
and that's the key. Love yourself enough to be the person that you really need to be, that wonderful person that's inside. And we're all that way. We're all special in our own way. So,
Hmm. That's why
um,
nobody looks like us unless we have a twin. But even
oh,
our twin isn't exactly the same as us,
yeah, that's right.
right?
The personalities are
Oh,
completely,
definitely.
yes, yeah. So, it's been a wonderful experience coming out of the closet.
Oh, we're gonna do another series about on a show called Closet Cases, and I would
Oh,
definitely interview you in one of those.
I love that. Yeah, yeah. So that's why I always look so good because I spent such a long time in there.
Yeah, you've been there shopping and picking out outfits.
I love shopping.
That's why we look so
I
fabulous.
miss that. I miss the shopping. Oh, girl.
Well, there are local retailers who do shopping online. You can like they deliver it or they'll ship it to you.
It's not the same, Don. You got to
Yeah, of
feel the
course.
fabrics. You got to
I
put it,
know, I know.
see if they
Well, for
stitch.
now, we have to put up with that system for a while. So,
Yeah.
moving forward, what are your plans? So what is your band called? Is it Elvira and her Wicked Wave? That's
We're
band.
still looking for a couple of different names. Right now, we're looking at a Pan Adora, or
Oh, that's a nice one.
or I thought maybe the Harlequin Revenge. That's another one too, where Harlequin was the fool that used to sit next to the king and try and keep him on the straight and narrow. So
Oh, okay.
it's a play on the mind sort of thing. So the Harlequin used to make a fool out of the king, and
Oh, okay.
that way he would know whether or not he was doing the right thing. So we have possibly a few more names that we're looking through. I'm going to put it to the band to vote, and we'll all have a say in what the name of the band is. But for right now, it's just Robbie Van Music.
Well,
And
it's It's Robbie Van Music presents Elvira and her Wicked Wicked Wings.
Yes,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. How did Elvira come into the picture? What inspired that?
Well, remember the old vaudevillian type things where women come out and sashay their boobs and stuff like that? I can't quite get
I
that.
don't know.
I can't quite get there, but I'm very close to it. I like to show off my body and play with the clothing, and I do the same with my thoughts. I show off my dirty side, and I play with the phrasing of it. For instance, there's a ring around Uranus and a fully
Yeah,
exposed moon.
the hit.
You know, and there truly is a ring around the planet Uranus. So,
Oh, it's Saturn, darling.
so it was just waiting for it, right? So I like a lot of that type of funny stuff. And when I sing a song, when I create a song and I sing it, and it takes me 6 or 7 times before I stop laughing at my own jokes, then I know I got a good one. And I feel like I'm inspired by the universe. So I feel like I'm part of the universe now, whereas before I was disconnected from it when I wasn't myself. Now I feel like the universe actually speaks to me and guides me and gives me these brilliant songs, which I write in a miserably short amount of time.
Oh,
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
That is inspired.
At all.
So
That
it's like somebody's whispering in my ear, and I got to write like,
Wow.
oh yeah, it's wonderful. So I feel guides and spirits around me all the time. I've seen my dad. I always feel my mom around me all the time. So, and they've been passed away for a few years now. So
I see.
yeah,
So I remember you mentioning on my party last time that this was the last time we were together in a public gathering. I'm just so thankful that we had that party because
wasn't that fun?
Yeah, the week after was the shutdown already happened.
That's it.
I mean, had I postponed it a little bit further, the party would never have come to pass, and that's going to be a very memorable and.
I guess you could say. I guess you could say, Don, you had the party to end all parties.
Yay!
Yeah, I know, right? And is that where you met Bronwyn and signed her up in your group? Or yeah, you already were involved with her prior?
Pardon me?
I was just curious where you met Bronwyn and signed her up, recruited her.
We've had the group together. Oh, Bronwyn. Bronwyn, well, why don't we let Bronwyn in on this one then?
All right.
Okay.
So while I was bartending at Char's, they had this lovely event called Words on Fire, and Robbie was the feature.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. And I just fell in love with Robbie, who she is, and her creativity and her music, and I had to meet her afterwards, to which then she, to which, sorry, I'm the techie person of the duo, so when this one gets involved with the tech, I get a little worried. But, you know, I love it. And so in any case, had to speak with her afterwards, to which she then pitched me the Elf Queen project, which is its whole other interview. And so I just wanted to get involved, but she was looking for instrumentalists, of which I am not one yet, but got her contact info. And then fast forward a couple months, I had a pianist in mind. So I called Robbie up just going, I wonder if she still needs people. And from that phone call, I mean, it was just an instant connection. Just like, hello, darling. Hello, darling back. I meet up with Robbie a couple weeks later. This is in August. Yeah, this is in August.
Okay.
Robbie pitches it to both myself and the pianist, but she was looking right at me when she said, I'm getting a band together, and I want you part of this project.
Oh, there you go.
I saw her fingers fly across the computer screens as she's sitting there with me, and I go, oh, I need her. I can't do this by myself. And then she has this enigmatic character
Oh, definitely.
Just wonderful pixie that has this amazing aura around her. I couldn't help but say, "You've got to be part of the team," because I want wacky people with me. Wonderful.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. So we came. Well, plus you ended up liking my voice too.
Oh yes, yes.
So I joined the project, and essentially I am social media manager. I am organizer. I am vocalist, accent percussionist, and right now applicator for grant and funding and figuring
there you
out
go.
ways that we can get our fans to support us through like Patreon and Coffee. So if anyone is already a fan of our music, or once they hear us becomes a fan of our music and wants to support us, just look up Robbie Van Music. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Coffee, and Patreon and YouTube. All of those, and every little bit helps because we've got some fabulous, wacky music to help.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see the streaming that you're gonna do.
Yes. The theme for this show is Upside Down in Wonderland.
Oh, that's
are we on Frozen?
Sounds pretty.
We're good? Okay.
Yeah, okay. I'll get back to Robbie now.
Anyway, the theme for the show is Upside Down in Wonderland. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Fine, I'll leave.
No, you're not. You're definitely. Yeah. So I'm so happy for you, Robbie. I mean,
it's a good thing that I got Brahma.
Oh yes. She's a wonder.
Oh, well, I have a hard time anything above a pencil and paper. It gets difficult for me. I still have a hard time with the telephone. So
there are no more telephones, darling. They're called cell phones. You know.
Oh yes, I know. We didn't get a phone in the house till we were 15.
Oh, really?
I was never used to a phone, and as I went through life, it always meant work because there was always a cell phone, and meant you had to go price a job here or price a job there. Because I had 37 years in the construction industry.
Oh, okay. So that was your background before. You were in construction.
Yeah, I was a drywall contractor.
Oh wow,
yeah,
that's very interesting.
Yeah,
and so how long ago did you come out? You said you came out at.
I was at same
you were 57.
Yeah, same age as you are today. I came out and I couldn't stand being a male anymore. And the thing is that, as I've said, I feel like I've been connected to the universe. When I was driving away from the crematorium after paying my dad's bill for the cremation coming up, and it's a Wednesday afternoon, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and there's a first miracle. There's no traffic on the Fraser highway for about 2 or 3 blocks. And I'm going through the experimental forest, and out of the trees comes this great blue heron. Out of the top of the trees comes this great blue heron and sits in front of my truck for about 150 yards and then slowly takes off. And I felt like a slap in the face, and I had to pull over to the side of the road, and I started crying. And I phoned up my therapist and I said, I have to see you. And when I went to see her, the first thing I said, I feel like a woman. I have my whole life, and I'm trapped.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
I'm trapped in this horrible body. I can't stand it. And she says, I love being a woman. Why shouldn't you? And that's where the change started. So many crazy years in between where you're not sure whether you're doing the right thing, and you question your sanity at a lot of times. Your kids, they're mortified when they see you walk through the door. But now,
how many kids do you have again?
My kids are back with me again. We're getting on better terms. You know, it's a.
How many do you have?
I have
3.
I have 3 kids.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 3 grandchildren, 3 children. I'm third born from a third born. I lived in 3 countries. Some call me the third sex. It's all 3.
Is that still up paying up to this day? I'm sure you have. That's another story I would love to hear in a different episode, in a different context altogether.
Oh, certainly. So Yeah, it's been a good experience. The fact that I came out here on the island and that I was so well accepted here was just a miracle for me. And it helped me to grow as an artist as well. So my first Pride performance was in the Port Alberni Valley,
The wonderful Alberni Valley experience.
and that's where I met the wonderful Don Tecson. Amazing. So,
It was a meeting that was meant to be.
oh, that's of course. So it's been just a blessing to find the LGBT community, find people so supportive of us too. You know, it's a changed world. It truly is.
So prior to coming to the island, where were you then? You were in the mainland?
I was on the mainland, yes. I spent most of my time in Langley,
Oh, okay.
although I was all over the mainland. And uh, I came to Canada in 1968 from Australia. So I have that bit of
Oh,
an
okay.
accent in there.
Oh,
So
you're from down under. I
that's the
didn't know
Australian.
that. Okay.
Yes.
There you
Yeah. Have you
go.
heard about the Australian? Have you heard about the Australian kiss?
No, tell
Oh,
me.
maybe I should be doing this on. It's the same as the French kiss, only down under.
Oh, I like that better. It's a family show. But that is a good one. Oh my
That's
God.
why I'm wondering whether I should open my mouth anymore.
Well, it's not that graphic.
Yes. No.
But that is a good one. So I didn't know you were from Australia. So Australia
Yes,
is not a country. It's a country, but at the same time, it's a continent,
that's right. Yes,
right?
it's some call it the largest island in the world, and some call it the smallest continent.
The
So
smallest continent.
yeah.
And how many? So what do you call the parts of the continent? They're not countries. Are they countries?
Oh, the states.
Oh, the states. That's
Oh,
right.
states, yeah. We have states in Australia where we have provinces here in Canada. So
Mm-hmm.
we have seven states in Australia. So
And
most
what state are you from?
uh, I was from all over because I went to 28 schools. So
Oh, okay.
my dad would pull us out of school after school after school. So um, the
Why was
continent,
that? Was he in the military or something?
he'd had two, he'd gone through two wars and he had a bit of PTSD. So he loses his temper in a real hurry. So
Oh,
he was he could be very testy to be around at times. But as he got older, he realized that that wasn't the way he should have been. But you know, the damage is sometimes done to the children already when you come out of a war, and that's what I
okay.
see as one of the big problems for the United States too. That they're always at war, and they have a lot of PTSD amongst not only the veterans coming back, but the people that have to live with these veterans too. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a terrible situation for them. I really am glad that I'm Canadian, and I love this part of the world. It's got to be the best part in the world. It truly is.
It is, and even with the way our government is handling the whole situation, I
Yeah,
mean, thank God we're here.
yeah, and you know, I find it's very agonizing for somebody who's an empath to feel all the souls around us with that fear trapped inside them because of the uncertainty that's around us. But trust, love is going to win out, and
Hmm.
and hopefully we'll find that after this is all over, we'll find a way to cope with more of these in the future because I don't think this is the end of it. We'll
No,
see a lessening in the summer. We'll see a lessening in the summer here, and they'll probably tighten it up again, maybe November, December of this year. So watch for the second wave. Uh,
hmm,
they're talking it's probably 2022 is what I've heard. So
wow.
it could be a long cycle of doing this type of thing to get rid of the COVID, but hopefully
They'll find
every
a vaccine, hopefully.
Well, we hope so, but it's a difficult one for them to work on. So we look for the beauty. Meanwhile, don't concentrate on the fear. Look
Mm-hmm.
for things that keep you joyful rather than things that keep you in the fear. So check out our show. That'll make you smile. Come see Elvira and her wicked, wicked ways. It's a wonderful way to spend a couple of hours and watch our wacky shenanigans.
Is it already up online now, or
Putting
we
to
have to wait a
music.
few days?
We have to wait till
May 22nd.
May 22nd.
Oh, okay.
That's
We can wait. We're not going anywhere, I think.
there you go. We do post something every day, pictures, and sometimes I'll even put one of my poems up online as well. So yeah, we post. There are 9 videos on YouTube with Robbie Van Music, so you can check those out. They're quite interesting. They're really cool stuff. So yeah,
Okay.
we're moving towards making a career out of this. So we have 3 stages in my vision. The first is Elvira and her wicked, wicked ways,
Mm-hmm.
all sexual innuendo, and definitely not for the children. The second one is children's songs and stories
Oh, there you go.
and videos and stuff like that, and they're fun too, really a lot of fun. And the third stage is the Elf Queen project, which I'm hoping to put out there next year, but it doesn't look like it with the COVID. It might have to wait a little while, but we can always work on it and polish it up so it becomes a better product. So we see what's happened to Broadway and how many of the shows have been
Mm-hmm.
canceled right now. So I have to look towards a bit of a further horizon than I would have thought.
Well, with Bronwyn on your team, I mean, like
And for
most
that, I
people
need about
now.
$250,000 to be able to.
Oh, I see. Well, with Bronwyn on your team now, because the shift now is learning to reinvent yourself and stage yourself online.
That's correct.
So now with Bronwyn on your team, you won't have any problem doing that.
Oh, what? Thank you, Dawn.
Thank you.
Working very hard, and it's difficult to try and keep up and find all the different techniques. And there's merchandising, there's all kinds of
Mm-hmm.
stuff that you have to learn, and she's pedaling as fast as she can. So it's wonderful.
And you're right there for the ride with her with your parasol and everything.
Yep. Oh, you should see her hair blowing in the wind, darling. It's glorious.
Oh, that's another thing I wanted to ask. Who does your hair? Because the parlors are closed and the salons are closed. You do your own hair?
Oh yeah, I do my own hair.
Oh, lucky you.
Well, I use a product that I make myself to
Oh.
help stimulate my hair growth.
Oh,
So
there you
it's
go.
made out of hemp. It's made out of grapeseed oil as the base, lavender oil, marijuana oil, and mushroom particles as well, the magic mushroom particles. And since marijuana and magic mushrooms help to stop cancer, I thought
Oh.
it'd be good for a skin cream. So I started using it on my skin for when I go out sun tanning, and afterwards I put a little of the oil on my fingers, and I found it so it makes my skin glow. So I started putting it into my hair too, and it's really good for my.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's wonderful stuff. So we're going to do a product line along that line too, but trying to get the drugs past.
Oh, I would love to try that product, man. Tell me when it's out.
Will do. So
okay, I'm getting a signal from this thing because I'm only limited to 40 minutes per interview.
okay.
I think we're about to wrap up. So as a last part of our interview, give our audience a message from your inspired mind.
Okay.
A message of hope, a message of encouragement, an admonition, if you will.
Yeah, if any
through this crisis.
If any of you are in the closet and feeling doubt, let me just tell you this. The first time I went to see my first Pride Parade that was in Victoria. And when I came home, I wrote, I once lived in a world between, where the world was blue and I was green, and the names they yelled were cruel and mean. So lived inside where it wasn't seen. But the world had changed in the blink of an eye. When hate fades away, that's where love resides. Though we may not agree, we stand side by side, so let's have a big parade. Well, the puffs and the fags and the queers are all gay, those testicles flying wherever they may. The lesbos are dancing to a tune from a flute, and everyone's laughing, we're having a hoot. The neighbors are waving, their cheers join in too. Even the sky is a happy, happy blue. And as the trannies and fairies pranced by the crowd, love is our anthem and our banner held proud. I once lived in a world between, where the world was blue and I was green, and the names they yelled were cruel and mean. So I lived inside where it wasn't seen. My, how the world has changed.
Yes, indeed. Oh, bravo. Thank you, Robbie. Is that one of your songs that are going to be featured in the stream thing?
It's one of my poems.
Okay.
Yeah, I will be, of course, I've got so much. I've been writing for such a long time. So I'm fine. Thank you for the interview.
Oh, yes, of course. Thank you for taking the time. And we will have that other interview. So many things interesting to talk about. I'm just so sad we can't be together. I have so many things planned. I had so many. Anyway.
Yes.
I was finally able to get you on the wave, because if we were doing this the way we were doing it prior, where we have to bring everybody to a set in a certain location and all that work, and now we can't do that. But now Zoom and online technology has given us the advantage to get together anytime, anywhere. Right, and I'm just so glad.
Yeah, and that's another thing, by the way, when you're on a I was so glad to meet you too. And you know, it's a wonderful thing when the human race sits down and thinks for a while, because what happens is you get all these new inventions, more things happen online, people become more creative. So that's what we're looking for too, isn't it? A way out of our situation is through creativity. So if you have a gift, use it. For heaven's sakes, now's the time.
Exactly. And you have so much to share. Like I say on my Facebook
and you have this wonderful gift of gab.
Well, like I say on my Facebook profile, I have so much to share, like you, and I have nothing to hide, like you. So,
yes, that's right.
World, here it comes.
That's it, girl. Thanks, Don.
Thank you, Robbie. I will put off the record button right now. So that's been our episode for this series, the Rainbow Series, or the Rainbow edition of the Wave. And I would like to thank Robbie again for being on the show. You look so fabulous. Almost upstaging me. Actually, I have upstaged me for today, but I'll allow it because you're my guest.
Oh, I don't think so, yeah.
Next time on the Wave, darlings.